Hello students, welcome to the science class. Chapter name is metals and non-metals. I am Kanchan Singh from Educational College, RKG Educational College. So let's start. Chapter name is materials, metals and non-metals. This is the pictures of metals and non-metals like brass, aluminium, cast iron, copper, steel, bronze, metal, cells, etc. Firstly, introduction. This is the picture of metals and non-metals. So you are familiar with a numbers of materials like uh, iron, aluminium, copper and etc. Can you name the material which are the metals? Metal can be distinguished from non-metal on the basis of their physical and chemical properties. This is the difference between metals and non-metals. So, this is the picture shows that brass, aluminium, cast iron, copper, steel, bronze, steel. So, this is the metal and non-metal. Just wait, some technical issue. So this is the introduction of metals and non-metals. Next, physical properties of metals and non-metals. What is the physical properties? You know that the shape of the iron nail and the aluminium wire changed on beating. If they are beaten harder, these could be changed into sheet. You might be familiar with silver foil used for decorating sweets. You must also be familiar with the aluminum foil used for wrapping food. The property of metals by which they can be beaten into thin sheet is called malleability. This is the characteristic property of metals. As you must have noticed, materials like coal and pencil lead don't show this property. Okay, next. अब हम लोग एक एक्टिविटी के थ्रू देखेंगे कि व्हाट इज द मेटल्स एंड नॉन मेटल्स के थ्रू, ठीक है। जैसे इस पिक्चर में आप देख रहे हो कि एक हथौड़ा है और नीचे कील है। तो टेक अ स्मॉल आयरन नेल, अ coal piece and a piece of thick aluminum wire and a pencil lead. Beat the iron nail with a hammer, but take care that you don't hurt yourself in the process. Try to hit hard. Hit hard also the aluminum wire. Then repeat the same kind of treatment of the coal piece and piece pencil lead. Record your observation. आप एक कोयले के पीस को और एक आयरन के पीस को एक हथौड़े द्वारा मारिए और फिर उसके बाद देखिए कि दोनों में क्या परिवर्तन होता है। सो हमारा ऑब्जर्वेशन क्या आया? You saw that the shape of the iron nail and the aluminum wire changed on beaten. If they were beaten harder, these could be changed into sheet. You might be familiar with silver foil used for decorating sweets. You must also be familiar with the aluminum foil used for wrapping food. The property of metal by which they can be beaten into thin sheets is called malleability. This is the characteristic property of metal. This is the property of metals. Okay, yes. This is the characteristic property of metals. As you must have noticed, material like a coal and a pencil lead don't show this property. Okay, only shows iron and the aluminum sheets show this type of property, but pencil lead and coal don't show this type of property. So iron and the aluminum is the metals, and coal and pencil is non-metals. Next, conductivity. Can you hold a hot metallic pen which is without a plastic or a wooden handle and not get hurt? Perhaps not. Why? Try to list some other experiences in which a wooden or plastic handle protect you from being hurt while handling hot things. On the basis of these experiences, what can you say about the conduction of heat by wood and plastic? You must have seen the electrician using his screwdriver. What kind of handle does it have? Why? Let us find out. Means जो हमारे यहाँ इलेक्ट्रिशियन आता है तो वो एक स्क्रू ड्राइवर अपने साथ लिए रहता है, तो वो उसको हैंडल क्यों करता है? चलो अब इसको हम लोग देखते हैं. एक्टिविटी सेकेंड. दिस इज द सर्किट, दिस इज बैटरी, ये हमारी एक कील और एक बल्ब है. ओके, इस पूरे को हम लोग कहते हैं इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट. सो यू नो हाउ टू मेक द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी circuit to test whether electricity can pass through an object or not. You might have performed the activity with various objects. Now repeat the activity with the materials. Observe and group these materials into good conductor and poor conductor. अब हम लोग इसको ऑब्जर्व करेंगे कि जो मेटल्स होते हैं वो हमारे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के गुड कंडक्टर होते हैं कि नहीं. तो हमने क्या ऑब्जर्व किया? You observe that iron rod and nail and copper wire are the good conductor, while rolled sulfur pieces and coal pieces are the poor conductor. Though through this we can come to know that which of the metals are poor conductor and which are the good conductor. So आपने देखा कि जो आयरन रॉड है और जो हमारा कॉपर वायर है वो एक हमारा गुड कंडक्टर है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का. पर अगर हम लोग बात करें ये हमारा गुड कंडक्टर है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का, लेकिन हम लोग बात करें सल्फर पीसेस एंड द कोल पीसेस ऑफ द कोल पीसेस की, तो ये हमारे एक तरीके के पुअर कंडक्टर है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के. ठीक है, चालक तो सुचालक, सुचालक तो कुचालक. ओके, इनको हिंदी में कहते हैं. So we come to know that which of the metals are the poor conductor and which are the good conductor. Next, chemical properties of the metals and non-metals. अब हम लोग कुछ chemical properties देखेंगे metals and non-metals की. Reaction with oxygen. You are familiar with the phenomenon of rusting of iron. You had learned that in both the process oxide formation takes places. So हम लोगों ने हमेशा देखा होगा कि लोहे में एक जंग लग जाती है तो कैसे लगती है ऑक्सीजन. अब हम लोग देखेंगे कि रिएक्शन विद ऑक्सीजन के साथ लोहे में जंग कैसे मतलब क्यों लगती है, क्या होता है, आगे हम लोग पढ़ते हैं एक्टिविटी 3 के माध्यम से देखते हैं. Let us check the nature of rust formed a result of the reaction between iron, oxygen and water. जो जंग हमें लगती है लोहे में वो रिएक्शन होता है आयरन, ऑक्सीजन और वाटर के बीच में, जिसका रिजल्ट आता है कि लोहे में हमारे जंग लग जाती है, जिसे हम लोग रस्ट बोलते हैं. सो टेक सो दिस इज रस्ट सस्पेंशन. हमने एक रस्ट सस्पेंशन लिया, रेड लिटमस पेपर लिया एंड दिस इज द रस्ट. ओके, अब हम लोग देखते हैं. Collection a spoonful of rust and dissolve it a very little amount of water. You will find that the rust remains suspended in water. Shake the suspension well. Test the solution with red and blue litmus paper. What do you observe? What do you observe? Is it a solution acidic or basic? Let's see. What is observation? Observation. You must have observed that the red litmus turns blue. So oxide of magnesium is also basic in nature. In general, metallic oxide are basic in nature. So हमने देखा कि you must have observed that the red litmus paper जो हो गया वो blue में convert हो गया and so oxide of magnesium is also basic in nature. In general, metallic oxide are basic in nature. Uses of metals and non-metals. अब हम लोग uses of metals and non-metals देखेंगे. You should be able to guess why metals are used in making machinery, automobiles, aeroplanes, trains, satellites, industrial gadgets, cooking, water boilers, etc. You are also familiar with the uses of some non-metals. Uses of metals and non-metals. Some important some points are here are some interesting ones. We are sure that you will guess them right. First, non-metals essentially for our life, which all living beings inhale during breathing. Non-metal used in fertilizer to enhance the growth of plants. Non-metal used to fertilizers to enhance the growth of plants. Non-metal used in water purification process. वाटर प्यूरिफिकेशन में भी नॉन मेटल्स का यूज होता है और फर्टिलाइजर जो प्लांट्स होते हैं उनकी ग्रोथ के लिए भी फर्टिलाइजर का यूज होता है तो उसमें भी हम लोग नॉन मेटल्स का यूज करते हैं. नॉन मेटल्स essentially for our life which all living beings inhale during breathing. Non-metal used in the purple colored solution which is applied on wounded wounds as an antiseptic. Okay. एक एंटीसेप्टिक के थ्रू भी नॉन मेटल्स का यूज किया जाता है. नॉन मेटल यूज्ड इन क्रैकर आल्सो. You may add some more uses of metals and non-metals for your experiences. So this is the uses of metals and non-metals. Elements. What is elements? You have learned that in a chemical reaction, new substances are formed. These substances are different from those which underwent the reaction. Now, if a substance cannot be broken down further by chemical reaction, by cooling, heating, or by electrolysis, it is called the elements. Sulfur is an element, so is iron, carbon too is an element. The smallest unit of the element is atom. A sample of an element contains only one kind of atom. The atom of an element remains unaffected by physical changes in the elements. So, what is the highlight point of this? In the if a substance cannot be broken down further by the chemicals reaction, by cooling, heating, or by electrolysis, it is called a element. Sulfur is an element, so is iron, carbon too is an element. The smallest unit of the element is atom. Okay, a sample of an element contains only one kind of atoms, and atoms of elements remains unaffected by physical changes in the elements. So this is called the element. Thank you, class.